The golden gates of Europe have slammed shut. Under crushing pressure from the EU, the legendary citizenship programs of Malta and Cyprus are dead. If you are a high net worth individual looking for a European passport in 2026, you are out of luck. But the game isn't over. It has just moved. Welcome to the definitive 2026 guide to building your sovereignty portfolio. Today, we are looking strictly at active citizenship by investment programs. No waiting around for residency, no digging up your ancestry, and no merit-based lotteries. This is about leveraging your capital to buy the ultimate Plan B. We are breaking down the exact prices, the real processing times, the hidden risks, the global access, and the crucial tax implications. Corporate, personal, dividends, and crypto of every verified program on Earth. Let's start with the undisputed heavyweights. The Caribbean. Caribbean remains the absolute benchmark for global mobility and wealth protection. And it all started with St. Kitts and Nevis. Back in 1984, their national sugar industry was collapsing, and the island needed a way to survive. So, they invented the modern citizenship by investment industry. Today, their reputation is rock solid. For a $250,000 USD donation, or a $400,000 USD real estate investment held for 5 years, you get a passport in 6 to 8 months. It unlocks the Schengen zone, though you'll still need visas for the USA, Australia, and China. There are 0 physical presence requirements, and you can pass this citizenship down to your descendants forever. Tax-wise, it is a fortress. There is 0 personal income tax, 0 tax on crypto gains, and 0 tax on dividends for residents. While local corporate tax is 33%, offshore companies are fully exempt. If you want something a bit more low profile, there is Dominica. Known as the Nature Isle, it delivers incredible value. For a $200,000 USD donation, or matching real estate held for 3 to 5 years, processed in about 6 months, you get Schengen access and newly minted visa-free access to China. It requires 0 physical presence, and the citizenship transmits fully to your heirs. On the tax front, Dominica offers a territorial system. Foreign income is tax-free. Local corporate tax is 25%, but crypto capital gains remain untaxed. Then, there is Grenada, the Spice Isle. This requires a $235,000 USD donation, or $270,000 USD in real estate held for 5 years. It is the fastest option in the Caribbean, taking just 4 to 9 months. Grenada has a superpower, the E2 Treaty. After a mandatory 3-year residency, a Grenadian passport makes you eligible to live and do business in the United States. Add in visa-free access to both the Schengen zone and China, and Grenada is a massive strategic asset. There are no visit requirements, and it transmits fully to your descendants. Taxes? 0 tax on foreign income and crypto capital gains. Local corporate tax is 30%, with a 15% withholding tax on dividends. If you are moving a whole family, Antigua and Barbuda is your best bet. Donations start at $230,000 USD, and it's highly optimized for families, with descendants fully covered by the inheritance of the citizenship. The catch? Backlogs have pushed processing times to 6 to 12 months. It also requires a tiny bit of physical presence. You must spend just 5 days on the island over your first 5 years. Financially, it is a paradise. Personal income tax was completely abolished. There is 0 tax on crypto, and offshore companies pay 0% corporate tax. Dividends for residents are also tax-free. Finally, St. Lucia. It's the slowest of the bunch, taking 12 to 18 months. But alongside a $240,000 USD donation, you can opt for $300,000 USD in refundable government bonds. If capital preservation is your goal, this is the play. It requires 0 physical presence and allows full family transmission to your descendants. St. Lucia taxes local corporate income at 30%, but foreign-sourced income for offshore companies is tax-exempt. There is 0 tax on dividends and 0 capital gains tax on your crypto. For now, none of the 5 major Caribbean CBI programs requires a continuous annual presence, We will keep you informed as soon as any change occurs. But if the Caribbean is the gold standard, the Pacific is the Wild West. Welcome to the privacy havens. Vanuatu is incredibly fast. For a donation of $130,000 USD, which can even be paid in crypto, you can have a passport in just 1 to 2 months. The main applicant may be able to include a spouse and dependent children for an additional cost. There are no residency requirements. Here is the dark side. Vanuatu is currently a highly problematic passport. Risks include border interrogations or refusals due to CBI stigma and banking scrutiny as a red flag jurisdiction. Because of incredibly weak vetting in the past, international criminals slipped through the cracks. As a direct result, the EU permanently banned Vanuatu from visa-free Schengen access. But, if you can look past the lingering stigma, Vanuatu is a pure tax haven. 0 corporate tax, 0 personal income tax, 0 tax on dividends, and 0 tax on crypto. Nearby is Nauru. This tiny island offers a very low-key passport, but do not be fooled by the sticker price. While the base donation is advertised at $105,000 USD, once you add the mandatory $25,000 government application fee, the $10,000 due diligence fee, and banking charges, your true total cost for a single applicant actually sits around $141,000 USD. The Nauru passport is comparable to the Vanuatu passport, with both offering a similar overall level of mobility while differing in the destinations they access. Nauru is generally stronger for access to the UAE, Taiwan, and South Korea, while Vanuatu may be more attractive for parts of Latin America. The Nauru application is, however, more document-heavy and closer in scope to some Caribbean CBI programs, but it offers no access to Schengen, the USA, China, or Australia. Tax-wise, Nauru charges a 20% flat personal income tax, but only above a high threshold. Corporate tax sits between 20% and 25% locally, but foreign income, dividends, and crypto capital gains are tax-free. Now, let's look at the emerging markets. Africa's affordable frontiers. First, Sao Tome and Principe. The country offers a passport for a mere $90,000 USD donation. Delivered in 3 months, it requires 0 physical presence and transmits fully to your descendants. It won't get you into Europe or the USA, but as a member of the CPLP, it can ease the path to Portuguese residency, but not citizenship. For taxes, it has a progressive personal income tax up to 25% and a flat 25% corporate tax. Dividends face a 20% withholding tax for non-residents. Crypto gains are generally taxed at 20%. The second African country is Sierra Leone. This country offers fast-track citizenship program at $140,000 USD. It takes 3 to 6 months to get the passport, requires no visits, and your family and descendants are fully included. Financially, both personal and corporate taxes sit at 30%, and dividends face a 20% withholding tax. One key asset for this passport is that Sierra Leone citizens enjoy 90-day visa-free access to all ECOWAS, Economic Community of West African States, member countries. Crypto falls under standard capital gains, 25% on net profits. The next country is Egypt. Egypt takes a different route, requiring a $250,000 to $300,000 USD investment, taking 6 to 12 months. There is no residency obligation, and unmarried children under 21 are included. However, Egypt is battling severe inflation, meaning your underlying investment could lose significant value. From the tax side, corporate tax is 22.5%, personal income tax scales up to 27.5%, and dividends face a 5% to 10% withholding tax. Crypto is highly restricted and technically illegal to trade without a central bank license. Finally, we enter the realm of the power moves, Asia and the Americas. In Asia, Cambodia is a ticking clock. Right now, a $250,000 USD donation gets you a passport signed directly by the king in 5 to 6 months. But you need to act fast. Prices are about to skyrocket to $1 million for investment, or $3 million for a state philanthropic contribution. Dependents, current children's spouse, require additional fees to include, but children born afterward automatically inherit citizenship at no extra cost. Why the sudden change? Cambodia is doing a massive post-scandal cleanup. Following the Prince Group scandal, the government now enforces strict morality checks and can instantly revoke citizenship for serious crimes. Taxes include a 20% corporate tax and a 20% personal income tax. Dividends face a 14% withholding tax for non-residents on local income. Cryptocurrencies face 20% capital gains tax on profits, treated as financial assets under standard taxation rules. Over in the Americas, El Salvador is rewriting the rules. For a $1 million USD donation, payable in Bitcoin or USDT, you can get a passport in a staggering 2 to 4 weeks. It grants Schengen access and broad mobility across Latin America. There are no presence requirements, but transmission is strictly limited to children under 18. El Salvador is a crypto investor's dream. Zero tax on foreign income, zero tax on Bitcoin and crypto capital gains, and zero income tax on crypto innovations. Local corporate tax is 30%, and dividends face a 5% withholding tax. And lastly, Turkey. For a $400,000 USD property investment or a $500,000 USD equivalent converted to Turkish lira, bank deposit held for 3 years, you can obtain Turkish citizenship. Processing takes 6 to 12 plus months. It transmits fully to your descendants, and while it doesn't offer Schengen access, it provides a pathway to the USA E2 visa after 3 years of effective residency in the country. Turkey taxes corporate income at 25% and personal income progressively up to 40%. Dividends face a 10% withholding tax. Corporate crypto gains are taxed as ordinary income. The map has been redrawn. Europe is closed. Caribbean CBI prices doubled in 2024 due to EU pressure and US scrutiny. The Pacific and Africa offer budget backups, and Cambodia, Turkey, and El Salvador are for strategic, high-level bets. But listen closely. The most important rule in the CBI game is this: do not rush blindly into a decision. Take your time, do your research, and engage only licensed execution firms. However, never forget that the last few years have proven one absolute truth. These programs only ever do 2 things. They either increase their prices, or they shut down completely. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates from the front lines of global wealth.